Today we're taking you along as we get the orchard and garden ready for winter. From what we do with our garden waste to the moment when disaster struck and we had to make a really difficult decision about one of our trees. Since we moved in, we've been hit by a few storms and they have left some of our trees weakened, which has forced us to make some really tough calls. This is our first year looking after a piece of land this big, so we're very much learning as we go. If you've got any tips or advice, we'd generally love to hear them, so drop a comment below. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Helen and welcome to Finding My Place. After years of fast-paced city living, I realised I wanted something different. More calm, more nature and more space to breathe. When Martin brought me to Ireland all those years ago, I knew this is where I wanted my life to be. So now we've made the move and began creating a slower and more intentional way of living, doing the garden, exploring, running, cooking and looking after our well-being. This channel shares that journey of stepping away from the rush and finding what feels like home. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into today's video. Today is tree pruning day and what a fruitful year it has been for us on our trees this year. We've had so many apples and plums, we haven't known what to do with it. We've made lots of apple cake and apple pies and apple juice, and now if you want to stick around later on in this video I'll show you the apple juice and that we have made using my juicer that I have got for this year, and believe me when I tell you it is the best apple juice you'll ever taste. It really is. So what does tree pruning day mean? It means that we just need to get rid of some of those twigs that are intermingling between each other that maybe stunt the growth of our fruit for next year, and also kind of cap the trees so they are not as tall as they have grown this year, so the growth can kind of be focused in the dome shape. Now that being said, that is what I've learned from the research on the internet, so fingers crossed I've read it right and it all works out. So I best crack on and get the trees pruned, and I'll show you them at the end of the video to see, so you can see how I've got on. When we're pruning the apple trees, it's not just about what we cut, it's about where we cut. We're making our cuts just above the healthy bud that's facing outwards, so the new growth grows away from the centre of the tree. Any dead, damaged or crossing branches come off first. For larger branches, we're cutting close to where the branch meets the tree so it can heal properly. This is our first year doing this, so we're keeping it gentle. You can always take more off later, but you can't put it back on.
We have hundreds of trees and shrubs of many different varieties, both deciduous and coniferous. Deciduous trees will naturally shed their leaves in the autumn, which means that I constantly need to sweep up the leaves for recycling. I have learned that the shrubs need to be trimmed to encourage new growth in the springtime. This particular shrub has attached itself to a wooden fence, and on closer inspection it has rotted the wood, so unfortunately this one has to go. I will hide the concrete wall at some point in the future, either by constructing a new wooden fence or by planting some new shrubs. Let me know in the comments section what you think I should do. In the south of Ireland, you get two bins for your money. You get a blue bin for recycling and you get a grey bin for general household waste. Here in the north we have three bins. We have a brown bin for outside waste such as twigs, leaves, grass, etc. We have a blue bin for our recycling, bottles, metal, cardboard, and we have a grey bin for general household waste. We don't tend to get rid of any organic waste via the brown bin because we have our own compost heap. We use our own compost for rose beds, for the orchard, and for general planting around the garden. Because the bins are paid for here in the north, we make sure we get our money's worth out of filling the bins every 2 weeks, especially the brown bin. We gather up all the leaves, all the twigs, and we fill the bin to the top. We kind of like the leaves in the general area. We like the rustic feel, the country feel to it. Unfortunately, the leaves have a habit of blowing all over the driveway. They become slippery when they're wet. When it's icy, for instance, they become extremely slippery. They also blow right up against the doors and you're walking into the house with leaves stuck to your feet, etc. So we do tend to sweep them up and dispose of them every second week.
Cutting down the dangerous tree.
time to make some apple juice.
Right, today we are going to be making some apple juice. Now, it's very, very quick and easy to make. And I chop up some apples and then we kind of use this Ninja juicer. I've chosen the Ninja juicer mainly because it really makes the most amazing apple juice. And I've read all the reviews and this one kind of came out as top. So I'm going to put it all together, then we're going to chop some apples up and I'll kind of show you how we do it. So let's crack on. This bit is what kind of crushes all the apples, so that kind of goes in there. This bit is kind of the filtration, so it kind of filters out all the not niceties and the pulpy bits, so it doesn't go into your juice. So that patterns in there like that. And then this bit goes on the end. Get it in. It's just the way I want to do it. That bit goes on there, and this is where your apples go in. You have a little tray, nice little tray there. You can put your apples on, and then that's then used to push your apples down. And you've got a lovely jug that sits underneath to catch your amazing apple juice. So yeah, that is the juicer all set up, ready to go. Now I've just got to cut some apples. We have a wide variety of apple trees within our orchard. And we can get anything from galas to cooking apples to Braeburns to Golden Delicious. And we are very, very lucky that we get all those different varieties. Now, the Golden Delicious that we had this year, we didn't actually make those into apple juice. We actually ate those because they were so, so nice. The ones that we're using for the apple juice are actually the gala apples. As you can see in the video, you just need to cut them up really, really small to get them into the juicer. We did have a large number of apples that came from the trees this year, and we weren't able to use them all, unfortunately, because a number of them fell on the ground before we could actually get a chance to pick them. And when they'd fallen on the ground, the birds and the bugs had started to eat them, so a number did have to go onto the compost heap. But that's all right, because they've gone back into the compost, and that'll be able to be used on the garden next year or in the years to come. Now, before we put the apples in the juicer, I do make sure I run them underneath the tap first to ensure I've kind of cleared off any bugs or nasties that may have landed on them before they go into the juicer and we make it into the juice.
Back to the garden.
Good morning, everyone. Back at cutting the tree again. Now, cutting the tree isn't something that we did very lightly. It's not something that we like to do or wanted to do, but it is something we've had to do just because of placement of it. It was above our septic tank, and because it was getting so large, it could have started to kind of go into that or kind of break the septic tank, which we didn't want. Also, the electricity board have noted that it was getting very close to the wires that are going above the house and the electricity cables, and the power lines. So it's one of them things that we're just going to we had to kind of chop it a bit down anyway. And also, we hadn't realised how much light it was actually blocking out from our kitchen. And since we've had the kitchen done, it was actually getting quite dark in there, especially in the winter months where we don't get much natural light. So we've made the decision to cut it down. That being said, we are going to look at planting another tree somewhere else in the garden to kind of replace it, because we did know that, you know, the birds did like to sit in it. There was no birds nesting in there, which is also a good thing. But we will plant another tree somewhere else in the garden to make sure that they do have somewhere else to go, and we will probably put some nesting boxes around as well. As you'll probably see during this video, you'll see lots of birds popping around, which is beautiful to see, and I do like to be surrounded by them. So without further ado, I best crack on and get this tree moved. Thank you for watching today's video. It's been great to take you along the journey as we winterise our garden for the first time. If you have any hints and tips as to what we can do with our garden as we get into the spring, we would love to hear them, so please comment below.
We are a brand new channel, so if this is your first time to visit, please hit the subscription button Subscription is 100% free, but it will really help our channel to grow. If you'd like to comment, that will also help. We're hoping to build a community and maybe get chatting to you at some point in the future.
So it's goodbye from Martin.
And it's goodbye from Helen. What do we do now?
Walk away. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Choosing to leave the city life behind and build something more intentional here in Ireland has been one of the most meaningful decisions Martin and I have ever made. What we're learning every day is what it means to live a life that truly feels like ours. Please like, comment and subscribe to follow along with this journey. Until next time, take things at your own pace, appreciate the small moments and keep finding your own place. Thank you for watching today's video. It's been great to take you along the journey as we winterise our garden. If you do have any hints and tips as we get into spring, we would love to hear from you, so please comment below.
There's a plane up there.
What did the grape say when it was stood on?
I don't know. What did the grape say when it was stood on?
Nothing. It just let out a little whine.